0-2 pitch. Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins. Fires. A perfect game. Roy Halladay has thrown the second perfect game in Philadelphia.
Line drive, right center field, base hit.
Ground ball over the mound. Waiting for it. Oh, see, he booted it. One runner's in. Here comes Swing, the throw. Save! Harper hits one in the air. Left center field. Back it goes. Harper, the swing of his life. Fastball hit to left. It is long gone. And Hamels with a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball deep center field. Herrera back on the track. And did he make the catch? He fell down and he's got.
Here's the strike by Robinson. The 3-0 pitch. Swing and long drive. There it is. Number 500. The career 500th home run.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 6 of the Bell Smashers podcast, brought to you by Fired Up Sports Network. I'm your co-host, Kylie.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Haley.
Today, we have our very first special guest, which is a pretty good way to end the year. We have Phillies catching prospect Jordan Dissin. Welcome on, man.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So Jordan is a 12th round pick from last year and PA native, Phillies fan, right?
Yeah, very, very much a Phillies fan. Grew up in Pennsylvania. Went to Malvern Prep, which is probably about 20, 30 minutes away from the stadiums. Went to Phillies games my whole life. Was a huge Chase Utley fan, Ryan Howard fan. So it's pretty surreal that I got picked for my team that I was rooting for growing up.
So you being from the area, obviously you have friends in the area. What was their reaction, everybody's reaction to you coming to the hometown team?
Yeah, of course, everyone was excited for me that I got picked, but to the Phillies, some of my buddies were calling me a hometown hero. Everyone's asking for tickets, like the guys that didn't really know the whole baseball circuit. It was like, oh, when are you going to be at Citizens Bank and all that stuff. So it was pretty exciting. I felt like a celebrity for a little bit, but it was fun.
For people that don't know the whole circuit, what goes on?
So after the draft, probably like 2-3 days after the draft, I flew down to the spring training facility where you do like a mini camp and all the medical stuff, get your physical out of the way. Then you go through a mini camp, just like practice, getting you kind of warmed up to like playing in games. And some guys go straight to low A. I wasn't as lucky. They put me in the Florida Coast League, which is basically rookie ball. I played in rookie ball for the last like month of the season. I played in 6 games. And then after that, it was the offseason for most guys, but I was lucky enough to get invited back for something called Instructs, which is basically just a lot of individual time for, new draft guys and some other like younger guys that keep getting work in. After Instructs, I was invited to a strength camp, which is just, you lift, hit, and do a little bit of defense every day. And then after that lasted until like the end of October. And then I've been home for I was home for the off season, but the whole baseball circuit as a whole, it goes rookie ball, then you get promoted to low A, and then high A, and then double A, and then triple A. And then finally after triple A, you make it to the majors.
Wow.
The whole thing.
Yeah, it's a long journey.
Thank you for sharing that, because it's like you said, it's a long journey, and it seems like its own thing, even obviously outside of major leagues. So
a lot of people, they think that you just go right from playing like college or high school or whatever right into the major leagues. And it's definitely not like that at all. So I feel like you giving that insight, as Jen was saying, and as Kylie did ask you, it gives people more of a perspective on the accomplishment that it really is if you do make it into the majors. But even being on the position that you're at now, that's still an accomplishment, because that means that you're in like one of the steps to get to where you want to be. And the cat.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a journey. You know, I feel like there's like baseball is very different from basketball and football, where the college level is very comparable to the professional level, but in baseball, it's simply a different animal. You know, you got guys in college where, as a hitter, you might get one mistake per at bat. In the majors and in professional, you might get one mistake a game to get a hit on.
yeah.
So and on top of that, that mistake is 94 with sink that ends up over the middle of the plate, compared to a college guy who's throwing 88 and it's a fastball right down the middle. So everything is a little different. The days are longer, and it's a grind. So it's the minor leagues in baseball is it's difficult some days, but I'll trade a longer baseball day than doing homework, you know?
Absolutely.
It's not a bad job to have.
yeah, I was going to ask
Definitely
you, like,
not.
what keeps you motivated then during those long days?
Not doing homework. No, but I've always wanted to be a professional baseball player. I'm not someone who I can see myself sitting behind the desk and doing busy work and paperwork. I'm very active, and baseball is my thing. So even after my career ends, hopefully when I'm 40 or 42 and not when I'm 26, I'm still going to be in the baseball world. So I'm just going to ride this out as long as I can, work hard every day, and then, you know, hopefully good things will happen.
So it seems like your dad is very involved with like your baseball career as a whole. What is that like, having that kind of family support, having that inner circle of yours just be, you know, your biggest supporters, but at the same time, you know, promoting you and making your name out there?
Yeah, my dad's the man. Yeah, so my family moved out here to California. I was telling you guys before the show, was originally from Pennsylvania, and after Richmond, where I wasn't quite ready for that experience just yet. It wasn't a good fit. We moved out here to California to go to Saddleback College, my JUCO, where I went last year, and they, you know, moved all the way across the country with me just to kind of support me and help me through, you know, moving across the country and getting ready to go to a new school. So I appreciate them for that. You know, my mom's great. She helps me out with, you know, laundry and, you know, stuff like that. While I'm working on
details.
where I'm working on, you know, the school stuff and the baseball stuff. So yeah, it's a testament to them. You know, it's not just like an accomplishment on me; it's a family thing.
And
I
have they
think
always been based in Pennsylvania, or was this just like they wanted to move to California for you, or was it just they were always in Pennsylvania and then they just moved?
so. My mom grew up in I think Northeast Philly. She lived there her entire life. She went to Goretti before it was Newman Goretti. That's where she went to high school. My dad was born in Pennsylvania and grew up in Georgia, but then came back to Pennsylvania to go to Temple.
Okay.
He's a Temple grad, you know, lived in Pennsylvania. And that's where, you know, my dad met my mom, and they lived there. I think it was like maybe 20 years or something. They lived in Pennsylvania, maybe, yeah, probably 20, 22 years. I think they lived in Pennsylvania. And then, just to support me, they moved to California just to kind of help me. And I think they like it here more than I do. So I don't see them leaving at all either.
So I love it. So it's more local than we thought, because besides you growing up in like that part of Pennsylvania, right? Now we have your parents who met, you said, at Temple University. So it's really connected in the city. So I think that you being, you know, a prospect here and, you know, being with the Phillies organization, it's not even just that you're a local kid, like guy doing this. It's that your whole family is really into this. And I think that's a testament. I think that's like the coolest thing ever. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a homegrown family. The Phillies picked a good family
Yeah.
as a part of
The
the.
Dissin family.
Love it. So you said you played at Florida at the rookie ball, for 17 at bats. I would hardly say you played. You literally batted 353. So to put it very lightly, that is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And you had 6 hits with 17 at bats, but you also had 5 walks. How do you stay so patient?
I mean, I think I'm blessed with a good eye. You know, maybe some of those were a little lucky, and then the other ones were on me. I think it just kind of sticks with my approach. You know, I'm always just kind of looking for my one pitch until I get the 2 strikes. I'm always kind of looking down, and I'm always looking for a fastball down the middle. And if I don't get a fastball down the middle right away, I'm not gonna I need to let the game come to me. I'm not gonna go out of my way and try to make something happen. I'm always looking for, my pitch. And if I don't get my pitch and I get the 2 strikes, that's when I, kind of choke up on the bat a little bit, widen out, and then start to fight a little bit.
See, because I mean, obviously, I don't play baseball, but playing MLB The Show, I can never be patient.
Same.
Yeah, relatable content.
I'm the same way.
I swing at sliders outside all the time.
I just swing at anything, and that's my issue. So
See, it's not that easy. Hitting a baseball is not easy.
it ain't that easy. No,
It's
it's really
not.
not that easy. And at the radio, I think you're gonna appreciate this. Jordan, I was talking to a coworker of mine, and we were talking like the dynamics of baseball, right, and like the science behind it. And scientifically, it is proven that it's impossible for you to actually hit a baseball with the bat. Like it's impossible. So the fact that we have these athletes that can hit baseballs, like it's like stupid and cliche as it sounds, it's like so impressive because scientists prove this theory, and there's no way anyone should be hitting balls with these bats.
Yeah.
So it's scientifically like impossible. So being able to hit, I mean, I'm telling you, like that's breaking science.
Yeah, it kind of makes you appreciate the greats of the game.
Yeah.
Just how much better they are than all these other athletes doing something that's, like you said, proven impossible at such a high level for such a long time.
Right. Because you look at football, anyone can catch a ball, right? I hate to be that way, but it's true. And you look at hockey, anyone can learn how to hold a stick. And again, besides the point, with baseball, I always felt this way. It's such a God-given talent.
Mm-hmm.
So this asks me my next question. Has anybody in your family played baseball? Was your dad big into baseball? Like, how did you get? Because I know that sometimes people were born naturally with this, but other times it can be genetics. And a lot of people that I meet that play professional baseball had like a dad or an uncle or somebody in their family has played.
It was just my dad. I know he played in high school. He was a varsity starter. He didn't get to college, didn't play in college. And I think, growing up, like I remember my dad showing me pictures of me holding, that plastic wiffle ball bat in diapers. I just grew up on it. I think I was it was predetermined that I was gonna be a baseball player out of the womb.
They knew.
They knew. That's a good segue into my question, which is we talked about your approach at the plate, but what about behind the plate? Like why are you a catcher out of all the positions?
There's a good story of why I started catching. I was like 8 years old on our little league all-star team, and we didn't have a catcher, and my dad happened to be the coach, and he kind of threw me back there, and I was pretty good at it just because I always kind of had a good arm, but I like to be doing something every play. I can't really sit still. I don't know if it's ADHD or ADD or something, but I used to play first base and I was just bored. Like just waiting for the ball to come my way. I was bored. So being a catcher, I'm always thinking, I'm always trying to figure out a plan and what's going on. So that is why I started to become a catcher, and then just learning everything, patterns or learning like what the other team is trying to do with runners on base and what each hitter's specialty and what they're weak at. That's just something I kind of enjoy, and kind of doing my homework going into a game. That's kind of fun for me.
That's great. Yeah, actually, I'm glad you started in Little League because I have a 10-year-old nephew, and last season in Little League, he got called up with the 11 and 12-year-olds to play catcher for them for like a game or two because he has a good arm. And so it sounds very similar to your story. And yes, he's 10, but he seems very serious about wanting to be a professional. So what is your advice to him and other kids who want to turn this into a career?
I would just say, if you really want to be a catcher, just work hard every day, because no matter how good that you think you are, there's somebody better. Mm-hmm. And you just got to outwork that next guy. And every time you think you get complacent or you think you're good enough, you're not.
I love that. That is like my mentality with everything I do, because I work at a sports radio station, and I know that there's like 20 million other people that would want my job. So every day I'm like, someone's better than you. But that's a bad way to go about things in life. But I also wanted to ask you, because we're on the subject now, some people say that a catcher is more important than a pitcher. And it is true, because the catchers, you know, they're the ones that are the most consistent part of that dynamic. So you seem like you're an excellent leader from just talking to you now, but I feel like JT Realmuto, I'm giving an example here with the Phillies, excellent leader. Do you feel like you're that guy that could lead your team and to inspire them and to motivate them? You already seem that way, but I just want to hear it from you.
I mean, I sure hope so. I just think I want to do anything to win. And when you're on that field, it doesn't matter if you maybe don't like some of the other players on your team. And that's not saying for me, I'm friends with everybody, but for other people who aren't friends with maybe, you know, their center fielder or their relief pitcher or their first baseman, once you step on that field, everyone wants to win. So as long as you want, like, you're shooting to succeed and to win and to battle, everyone's going to listen to everyone. And I think I might step up in that aspect just because I love to compete. I hate losing more than I love winning. So I am just trying to get my team, get the 9 guys on the field and whoever's on the bench, that we're, no matter what happens, I'm going to do whatever I can do to win this game, to win this at bat, to win this pitch. And I think that goes a long way with the catching position.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I mean, because I hated playing the outfield. It was always boring. And so I wanted to be like, because I had an arm, so I would play short or third. But catching, I could never do. Like that's just it's a difficult position to do, being on your knees and having to pretty much think a couple pitches ahead. Like, to help, because seeing which pitch gets the, you know, batter swinging or contact or whatever, like that's chess.
Yeah, chess is a good thing to compare it to. It really is chess. You're trying to find, I call it a win condition. So if your win condition, like, this guy doesn't hit a slider very well, you want to set up the rest of the bat so when you get the 2 strikes, you can use the slider to strike them out. So it's very comparable to chess, trying to put someone in checkmate.
Especially like catching 90-mile-an-hour fastballs. Like, I've always wanted to try to hit one. I know I can't, but I've always wanted to try to, like, hit a 90 or 100-mile-an-hour fastball just down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I've just always wanted to do that.
Now that we've talked some baseball, let's go do some fun stuff, because I feel like getting to know you is like a good thing. So what is one thing, and I know this is such a basic, like, first day of school question. I know I'm going to be that person, but what is like one thing about you that people don't know that you want them to know? Because there a hobby that you like. I mean, I know baseball is life, but besides baseball, is there something about you that people may not know?
Yeah, like off the field.
I'm Jewish. That might be a surprise to some people.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm Jewish. Went to Hebrew school. I'm bar mitzvahed. I do all the holidays and stuff. Yeah. And I actually, I can show you guys this. I got a
Wow.
tattoo here. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm proud to be a Jewish baseball player, especially considering there's not a whole lot of us. And I think
Right.
that's something I like to kind of wear on my chest, show everyone that.
Love that. So I'm Jewish too. I usually don't tell people that because sometimes it can be scary with the day that we live in, right? But everyone knows. I mean, mainly, I don't know. It's like hard to bring it up in conversation. But for me, I mean, this is so cool because you're somebody that's going to be able to represent, our community in a way in such a positive light. And I love that you're so open about it. I know that it may not always be easy. Where I grew up, I mean, I was outside of Philadelphia, so I was always fine. But I know there's tons of people who definitely struggle with saying things like, I'm Jewish. That can be a tough thing. So you're definitely going to be inspiring a lot of people, and especially with things that, have gone on in the past couple months. I give you credit. I think that that's really noble of you. I'm trying to think of the right word to say, to come on here and say that, because you, not only is there Jordan, the baseball player, right? There's now Jordan, the guy that people can look up to in a community that has been so turned upside down lately. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
So I've seen so many things. I wanted to get your thoughts on this, of the catching position with catchers kind of going on one knee sometimes. And because there's a lot of people talking about the pros and the cons of that stance.
Yeah, so when I first got picked and I got down to the FCL, I was a conventional stance guy where I was on both feet. And after kind of maybe getting exposed a little bit with the harder pitching and the different movement, I kind of had to switch to go onto one knee just so I could be able to receive better and also block these kind of dirty pitches that these guys are throwing. My hips, which is something I could actually just train, is to get my hips a little looser and be able to move a little better. My hips were too tight for me to sit in that conventional stance and be able to react to a 98-mile-an-hour fastball being spiked in the dirt. Me going from one knee has opened up. It's just easier. It feels more comfortable. It's easier for me to be able to block and receive these insane pitches that people now have nowadays.
That's the thing I hear about too. These pitches are insane lately.
Mm-hmm.
100 mile an hour and stuff.
Yeah, I think if you go back 20 years, I think these are the development of pitching throughout the history of baseball is just keep getting better and better and better. And I bet if we look 20 years from now, the pitchers today are going to seem not that good. I think it's just going to keep getting better and better. I think there's going to get to the point where there's going to be some guys like Nolan Ryan in the league. And I think it's going to be pretty crazy to see what baseball comes into in the future.
Imagine players like DeGrom being the norm.
Oh my gosh.
It's turning into that more and more.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
As long as they play for the Phillies, I'm fine with that.
Ricky Vitalico, who was a former Phillies pitcher, he's at my radio station. We always talk about this kind of stuff, but it's funny that you mentioned that. He was and he was in the MLB All-Star game. He was actually pretty decent and good. No, I'm joking. He was good. I love Ricky. But he was saying, if he were to pitch today, he would not make it because the progression in pitching, I mean, it's skyrocketing. So for a professional former Philadelphia Philly, who was in that, bullpen, to come on and say to me, listen, this is insane. I think that says something because, again, that professional athlete mindset, I don't have it because I'm not a professional athlete. But for somebody else that does, I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Because there's some former football players that always say, oh, yeah, I could play again if I wanted to, and because it's the same game. But things progress and pitching in that way. So I guess my question to you is, as a catcher, and again, hypothetical stuff going on here, a lot of catchers sometimes rotate to first base down their career. Sometimes it's a natural progression. Would you ever be open to that? I'm saying years down the line from now.
Yeah, everyone is fine.
I mean,
and stuff.
as long as I get to keep playing the game, I'll play wherever. Obviously, I would like to be a guy like, Yadier Molina, where he caught his entire career and to kind of be a staple in that catching position. But as long as I get to keep playing the game, you could put me anywhere. I don't care.
That's a good mindset. I like it.
It's rough on the knees.
Yeah, like
I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
Your hips, like everything.
Yeah,
I feel like it. Yeah, and the balls go everywhere, hits your chest, like literally.
Hand and stone. No, I was about to say hand and stone massages. No, they probably like actually good trainers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just that's credit to people that do that, and there's obviously no doubt that you can. So when the Phillies went to the World Series this year, the yearbook comes out today. Everybody check it out.
7 p.m. an hour before this potty.
Yeah.
Back to back.
So as a Phillies fan in the Phillies organization, what was this year like?
It was definitely special. Of course, the last time I got to see the Phillies play in the postseason was, what was that, 2009? I was 7. And to see them go on this run, it was a little special. And while being at the Phillies spring training, seeing like everyone gets so excited and then going home and watching the game in my apartment, it was very emotional, and I don't think it really set in at the moment. But looking back, it was like, wow, it was crazy.
Was there like in the organization, obviously at the Phillies, but in any of the other levels of the organization, was there like anything other than watching it? Was there anything going on related to it?
Nothing like super different. I think one day we had like a Zoom call with Kevin Long, the hitting coach, and he was just kind of breaking down some like hitting stuff, not really talking about the World Series or like the postseason because they had a game later that day. But it was good to get a chance to talk to a guy working with our starters, guys that are playing in the postseason, and getting his impressions on things and his opinion. And that's something I kind of that was one of the days where I kind of was on the edge of my seat, really taking in what he was saying.
I love K Long. He's been great.
Yeah, we talk about him a lot on the podcast because the players clearly love him and learn a lot from him. So that sounds like an amazing experience for you. Do you have any other moments from just the entire season, your season, also watching the Phillies that really stand out?
I mean, getting my first professional hit was pretty special. I'm trying to think of what else. I think, that was definitely probably the best moment. Just kind of getting my first professional hit in a real game. Kind of slowed everything down after that. I wasn't kind of putting pressure on myself to try to get a hit every time. I was just kind of playing baseball after that.
Love it. So is there any batter you kind of try to model your game after?
I mean, I just try to be the best Jordan Dissin that there is.
Right.
But if you're talking about a specific player that I try to model my game after, I always kind of look at Joe Mauer, where I think if you look at the stats, he doesn't have the craziest home run total. I think it's like maybe 150, 200, but he got on base. And I feel like that's something I definitely bring to the table. I feel like if you watch the movie Moneyball, Billy Beane would definitely sign me to the Oakland Athletics just because I get on base.
Hit singles.
Yeah, you can't steal first base. That's the first thing I'll say about that. I would say, I'm the 2002 Oakland Athletics favorite player, and I try to be like Joe Mauer.
With the 542 on base percentage, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Amazing.
Hey, you need those guys that can hit for average.
Yeah, I mean, on the Phillies, you got Bryce Harper and Schwarber can hit home runs all day, but
Yeah.
I think they mean a little bit more if you got 2-3 runners on.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because in the World Series, you can get back that one solo home run. Hard to get back a triple.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll let those guys get all the RBIs. I'll just I'll get on base and hopefully help the team out.
Love it. That's awesome. So I guess like, are there any like tips that you really tried to that you've gotten to kind of help progress as a catcher this season?
I mean, yeah, but like nothing like too crazy. Just kind of slowing the game down was the biggest thing for me because when I first got there, I'll be honest, like I was a little nervous.
Of course.
Kind of the game was speeding up on me a little bit with everyone throwing so hard and all this crazy movement, and all these guys that are older than me. It was just kind of taking a step back and taking it one pitch at a time. Just stop the ball, catch it in the pocket, throw it back to the pitcher. That's all I had to do throughout the entire game. Just keep doing that. And that's the adjustment I had to make, just slowing the game down, focusing, and not trying to be perfect or do something too crazy.
So now that it's the end of 2022 and we're about to enter 2023, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. It should be easy questions for you because I kind of feel like I know where you're going with this. Mm-hmm. What was your best moment of 2022? And then what is your goal for 2023 in terms of your baseball career?
I think it's obvious that the best moment of 2022 was, getting picked by the Philadelphia Phillies is pretty cool. Going into 2023, you said what was my goal for 2023?
Yeah, if you have any goals or any aspirations that you want to achieve, it could be something as simple as just hitting more. I can't put words into your mouth, but just something that you want to achieve.
Yeah, I think the one goal for me right now is to get to low A and get promoted out of the FCL. Mm-hmm. I think if I just set my sights, I'm not trying to get to AA or AAA in my first season. I think if I just take one step at a time and keep trying to win and get better every day, anything can happen. But my main goal is to try to get to low A and be able to play with the Clearwater Threshers this next season.
Oh, that's awesome. See, this is something that's so cool because a lot of people, I think this way too, I always want to skip the steps, right? You're somebody that's like, you know what, I'm going to have to hit these steps because that's part of the process. And that's the patience that goes into. And now I see why you take these walks. Because I'm seeing it in your personality and how you're talking with us, is that you're so patient and calm. And I think that does go into how you play the game.
And I think that's what will take you far. Obviously, we can't predict the future, but that's a really good mindset to have. And again, talking about the kids and other people who want to make it to where you are and beyond, I think that will be really, really helpful. And you've shared a lot of good information and great advice.
Thank you.
Hopefully
I appreciate it.
We will see you in some red pinstripes one day.
Yes, of course.
And very hoping.
We're all rooting for that. Trust me. I live like a couple miles away. Nothing better I would like to do than head over and see you play in your debut game. So
yeah, don't forget us. We'll be waiting for you.
I won't. No worries there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. It's been so much fun having you on. Everybody keep an eye out for him because, I mean,
you'll see him.
Yeah, 353.
Follow him on social media.
Yeah, 353 batting average, 542 on base percentage. Like, that's no joke. It's gonna be fun to watch.
What he's doing is what the Phillies do need. So if you want to jump on, I don't want to say bandwagon, but if you want to jump on the Jordan Dissin bandwagon and become, a fan of him, this is the time to do so. And Jordan, do you have any social medias that you want to plug or anything so people can follow you?
It's Jordan Dissin on both Instagram and Twitter. TikTok is JDissin11. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much.
We will see you soon at the bank.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Thank you.
Oh,
Glad we can do it this week. Because I remember.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I texted Kylie and I said, so is it 3 p.m. his time or our time? Because I didn't even know. So I was almost the one that messed up today.
Time zones are a pain.
I don't understand them. They should just make it universal. So I'm glad we all got on.
We
Yeah,
made it. That's all that matters.
We did.
absolutely. It's always appreciated. Be on the lookout for Jordan. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you again. I'll see you guys later.
Yes.
Bye. Thanks.
Well, that was Jordan. Always appreciate him coming on. That was good to get some insight from one of our own.
Yes.
I like
Right.
him.
Yeah, I like him too.
Like,
Yeah.
he said 2009 he was 7. I believe he is 19. I'm pretty sure he's 19. I have never met such a mature 19-year-old with a head on his shoulders like that.
Yeah.
And the way that he presents himself, you would think that he's in his 20s, like mid-20s, with just the maturity that he's had. And I mean, I just, this is what the Phillies do need. And I was like, kind of like, at the end, my personality where I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, seriously, we need somebody on base because that is so crucial. And I don't know, like, I thought he was a cool kid.
Yeah, I think he, with that mindset and approaching it one step at a time, not trying to get to double or triple A his first year, like, I think that is going to benefit him more than anything else.
Yeah.
I agree because I'm sure many guys just, again, try to fast track to double A and triple A and then it backfires.
Exactly.
Like we always talk about, it's such a long game and your mentality can't be that way if you really want to have success.
And he seems like, and maybe like you guys picked up on this vibe too, he just seems like he's the kind of person that is so into developing himself, not only as a player, but as a person. And it goes hand in hand. But I mean, what he said about his parents, the fact that they lived here in Philly for all those years, 20 years, and then they moved to California for him.
I know.
Like,
it was like heartwarming.
That is. I tried to think if my parents would do that. No. I was never going to be a professional athlete, so no.
Right. Shout out your cat for making the appearance today.
I know. I'm so happy.
Thank you. Well, Stella, I guess, just like the vibes. I was like, oh my God. And there was also, this is funny. So there was a fight outside my house because across from me is kind of more of a sketch area. And these guys were screaming at each other. And I was like, oh my God. Because I was the same house that the U.S. Marshal had a raid.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So I was like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
Not during the pod.
Not during the potty.
Oh, that's chaotic. Well, see, I wanted her to make an appearance. I wanted Stella to make an appearance.
Oh, she's right next to me.
She's right there. She's
Oh,
so fluffy.
a fluffy queen.
Stella has a Bryce Harper jersey, and I call her Stella Harper when the Phillies play.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
I love
she
that.
loves watching sports, and she likes baseball because she follows the ball on the screen.
Love it.
I'm like, what an inspo.
I saw a cat on TikTok that was trying to swipe away a field goal.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
That was
So funny.
good. But final thing we're talking about is the yearbook is, I guess, posted an hour ago. I'm going to pretend to cry now because I'm already going to cry when it actually appears.
Oh my God, I thought it was posted an actual hour ago now, and I thought it was at 7.
No. It's posted at 7 o'clock our time, Eastern time.
4 p.m. Jordan's time.
Yes. That is going to be a running joke now, and I love it.
What time is it? Summertime.
Exactly. Schwarber is narrating, so I got my Schwarber, jersey on. So I have 2 jerseys on. It's a little warm right now, but
You rock it.
Do.
Queen Kylie.
I can't wait to watch the yearbook. It's going to be very emotional.
I don't know if I can sit through it.
I know.
If I hear dancing on my own, I am going to
No.
lose it.
You know, I think they might play it.
They might play it, and I'm going to lose it.
No. I posted a memory of the NLCS when they clinched and they were going to advance to the World Series, and Bryson Stott's mom liked it. And I don't know, for whatever reason, that just made me emotional because I'm like, Shauna, don't do this. It's just like, I can't, like, okay, Phillies fans, you can relate to that moment I just had.
Yes.
I can't process that they didn't win the World Series still. And I will say that for however long it takes for me to get over this, but I won't get over it.
No.
They should have won. I just can't even fathom it. So I think looking back at the yearbook tonight, and Schwartz has been so crucial to this team, and he's so special. It's going to be tears, not of disappointment, but of happiness.
Right.
Because I have to remind myself, and I'm not going to get choked up now, but thinking about it kind of makes me want to get choked up. If it wasn't for this run that they had, all of these amazing memories, all of this excitement and buzz, and I'm very thankful for that. And it brought me to you girls.
Exactly.
And it's just, yes, it was a hard loss to the Astros. And no, they didn't have the story that we had, but I can't, like, I'm really sad about Gene Segura, guys.
That's right. I forgot to mention that.
We love
he had one of the best celebrations during the regular season. It was like somebody was trying to walk him or something, and he won the game. But he was just so special, and I hate that this team is now. I know they're improving, and I'm happy that they're improving.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a part of me that's like,
well, I hear you. We talked about this before. It's never going to be the same 2022 team. So, and you have an emotional attachment to all of the guys that had a part in making it to the World Series.
Especially Segura.
Yeah,
especially Segura. So it's sad to see him go.
Yeah.
We will be seeing a lot of him because he's joining the Marlins.
Oh,
but
that's both a good and bad thing. I get to see Gene play.
I hate the Marlins.
Also, it's the Marlins.
Boo.
Destroy us, like.
Boo.
Yeah, future Philly killer.
Right, exactly. New Philly killer unlocked.
At least he's not a Met.
Yeah, God.
Very true. Very true.
Or a Brave.
Yeah, especially.
Or Padre.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
Could definitely be worse.
Back up.
Jen, you and I need to go to Nationals Marlins games this year so we can watch Segura without the consequences of a Phillies loss potentially. So we can do that.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of Kylie and me at games out here in DC.
Yes, both for Segura and for the Phillies. Well, me for Segura. You don't have to go to the Phillies ones, but I'm going for Segura.
I'm down to go for Segura.
But
I'll be at the bank. I'll be Jake chilling, standing room only, yelling at the bullpen of the other team. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. The little Phillies helmet ice cream. Yo, dude, you suck. Eats the ice cream.
I literally went to last year. Remember the game that Matt Moore was pitching a perfect game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at that game.
No.
Yeah, I'm still mad at Girardi for pulling Matt Moore.
No. You were at that game?
I was at that game.
Jeez.
And so
I don't know why Girardi did that.
I don't know why Girardi did 99% of the things that he did.
Yeah, because he's Girardi.
He's Girardi.
Scumbag.
So I was with two of my friends, and we got there super early because I'm a sports addict. And
no.
Right. So I went to the bullpen to watch the pitchers pitch, and Amir Garrett was pitching. They were playing the Reds, and Amir Garrett was pitching. And the kids were being annoying and heckling him, not even in the funny way, but just the stupid, annoying way. And so they were, after he was done pitching, of course, they were asking him for a ball. And so what he did was he pretended to throw it to them and threw it at, like, the wall in front of them to, like, scare them. And he gave them a whole lesson and gave a lot of people a baseball except for them. So... Wow. And I got one. I don't know where it is.
Okay.
I got one.
Nice.
Common Kylie W.
Dude, I swear. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that yearbook's gonna be fun.
Well,
to-
we have
to
that
bring
to
it
look
back.
forward to. And I think this is a sentimental way to wrap up 2022.
It is.
Yes, this is a very good way to wrap up 2022.
Some people might have been dancing on their own, but we ended up dancing together, the three of us.
Exactly.
Was that like that was so stupid?
No, but I loved it.
Well, hey, the three of us are dancing together on Bell Smashers Pod.
Exactly. We
Like and
appreciate all the
subscribe.
views.
Like and subscribe, follow us.
Comment, tag a friend, tag 5
Yeah.
friends, tag your mother. Anything helps.
Tag everybody. Tag your least favorite Mets fan.
Tag
But-
your favorite Mets fan. No, wait, what?
Right. Those exist?
Doesn't
what?
exist.
My sister dated a Mets fan 10 years ago. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. He went to the
Really?
World Series parade with us in 2008.
Oh my god.
I know. I just remembered that.
Sounds right.
These the things you remember.
Stella is now sleeping, by the way. I'll show before we leave.
What a
Aw.
precious angel. Aw.
Cats, dogs, animals, pets live the best life.
I swear, dude. Like my fat cat is somewhere just chilling right now.
Literally rent-free, food, shelter.
And I would do it again.
Right?
Yeah.
Must be nice. But yes, this wraps up 2022. This wraps up, the season. It wraps up everything. And this is a very good way to end it. The year, the day, if I can speak English, the day before New Year's and all of that good stuff. So it's gonna be, an emotional. Well, however long the video is gonna be, it's gonna be emotional. So we got that, and next year, 2023, we're gonna be on Broad Street together and having a fun time at the parade.
Absolutely. And we'll see you all there.
Yes. And we will also see you guys next week. So,
See you guys. Love you guys.
yes.
Love you.
And always
Love you guys.
remember one thing in life. Mets suck. Go Phils.
There you go.
Perfect.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Bye.